Hey yo, this is Brooklyn's Finest Figures. How you doing? Now we're gonna review this anime Mythos Norse God Skull 10, aka Dark Face Broly or Dark Broly. Now I want to start off by saying that this box is massive. Brother, this box is so big, I don't see me keeping the boxes at all just because they're really nice. And this is crazy because this is the first time that Anime Mythos, they changed their name a couple times to Beast it was Kong first, and it was Beast Deities, and then they changed it to Mythos Anime. I'm gonna refer to them as Kong because that's their original name, and it's just a lot easier and smooth off the tongue. So if you hear me refer to Kong, I'm talking about Mythos Anime, the creators of these really awesome third-party Dragon Ball figures. So Mythos Anime / Kong had made these boxes, and this box is by far the best box that Kong has made. These boxes are massive, number one, so they can definitely protect your figure, and number two, they have like these cool beast art on the like all sides of the box. It looks awesome. If you look at the back of the box, this is the entire Norse god wave. So they have their Instagram there. They have different specs, and they tell you exactly what's in the box. So the figures scale to 1/12. Usually typical. They scale well with 6-inch to 7-inch figures. The figure of Broly specifically is 10.5 inches because Broly is a lot more massive than the other Dragon Ball characters. Now, in the box, there's a full entire Broly body, articulated body. There's 5 interchangeable hands, which we will go through that later. There's a blinding chain or binding chain. And then there's a huge effect, which we'll go through all the accessories that this Broly comes with. But I want to start off by showing you the back of the entire wave, which would be the first one is Super Saiyan 4 Broly, which we would review at another time, at a later date. There's the Super Saiyan 4 Broly from Burst Limit from Dragon Ball Heroes. And then there's the one that we're reviewing today, which is the Dark Face Broly, which is Super Saiyan 4 Broly, but he's a little bit more darker and has, I'll show you the rest on him. And then there's Super Saiyan 5 Broly, which is basically like fan art. It was like a fan kind of created Broly that a lot of people enjoyed. And Beast Deities is really good at Kong. They're really good at taking these fan art action heroes or whatever you want to call them, and they actually bring them out to life. So they make them figures, and it's like such a blessing to the community that I want to start off by saying I really appreciate Mythos Anime / Kong / Beast Deities. You guys are a service to the community, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys go out your way to make the fans happy. So with that being said, I already unboxed him, and I took him out of the box already, so we're just gonna put that to the side. I took the liberty to, there we go, let's make sure that he stands because he is massive. We do not want this guy falling. Give me a second. Okay, so yeah, he's definitely massive. He can stand on his own. This is not it's not an issue getting him to stand on his own. It's just a little difficult just because he is big. So he's a little bit more top heavy. And with these top heavy figures, sometimes they have issues standing on their own. This one in particular doesn't. So these are some of the accessories that he comes with. So these are the 5 interchangeable hands that he comes with. We're going to start off with so I already have a fist. Usually when I pose my figures, I always keep the fist on because I really like just the balled up fist on most of the figures. That's just me. That's my preference. So the his other hand is the opposite side of the blast effect hands that come with the peg in the middle, so that way you can put the blast effect in it, which will go through what the blast effect is. And then there's these two kind of like grab your face hands. Broly's really famous for grabbing people by their head and kind of just carrying them. Like, he's a massive character, and honestly, Broly is like psychopathic, and he's one of my favorite Dragon Ball figures. Oh, he's my favorite Dragon Ball character in the whole entire Dragon Ball series. So we have these open palm hands, which another thing that I really like that Kong did was sculpt on the fur on his hand. So this is a really good detail. Something I really love about Kong is they pay so much attention to detail. They're very good at detailing their figures. They're very good at shading their figures. And honestly, like I said, they're such a service to the community by recreating these characters and putting them in figure form. So this is his other hands that usually what most of the beast deities or slash Kong figures come with. It's just the like a beast hand. For those of you who like to do toy photography, this is cool if you ever just put in the wolf head on and then you just throw these hands on and you just pose them. That's just something that a lot of, I know, toy photography people like doing. So this is the two different faces that he comes with. He comes with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different faces. So this one being the mask, what he originally wears when you do see him, because this character is from Dragon Ball Heroes. So in the series, if you have not watched Dragon Ball Heroes, I will tell you right now to, right after you watching this video, go take some time to watch it. It's a really good series, and honestly, I really appreciate when we get more and more Dragon Ball content. So this is the face that he originally comes with when he first appears, and then this is like kind of like the eye is like, the eye section is cracked out on, I want to say that's his right eye. I want to say that's his right eye. So the mask is cracked out. It actually looks really dope because it shows these really demonic red eyes that he has, and I feel like that's such service to Broly that usually we got these white eyes. Broly, when he's legendary, when he goes legendary Super Saiyan, his pupils completely go away and you can only see his eyes. So I love the fact that he has these red eyes. It just shows a different side of like a demonic version of Broly. And so the face that I put on him originally is this like psychopathic, laughing, hysterically evil face. Like it just captures Broly's sinister look, and that's one of my favorite faces, and that's why when I pose him, he will have this face on. I mean, I might change it over time sometimes, but usually when I pose my figures with certain face plates, I always keep those face plates on because it just looks good, man. I like when he has that sinister laugh where he's just like, he knows he's more powerful than the rest of the Dragon Ball universe, so he's just out there kind of unaliving them, and it's just crazy. So the next face we have is kind of just like a regular standard smirk, and there you go with those red eyes, man. They look so good on Broly. Like, I love when he has just the white eyes, but these red eyes, man, they do such a service to showing how Broly can go into like this demonic form. So this is his like screaming out loud face. So with this face, I really like the detail that they put with his forehead creases and his mouth. And like I said, you have these here too. These are his earrings. So in these holes, you see that there's little tiny holes. You kind of plug in these earrings. They give you a whole bunch of these earrings, so that way if you lose a pair, you have a whole bunch. So these earrings are really good because Broly, he usually wears those earrings. I haven't put any of them on this Broly so far, but I will. So this is his screaming face, like I said, and honestly, something that I feel like Kong is really good at is capturing that moment where a character is just screaming, powering up, and ready to go on the onslaught. And then you got this. Now, if I didn't have this face on, I would 100% put this face on. Because like I said, it shows how sinister and evil Broly is with this evil ass smirk. Like, I just love the way that they capture how Broly is his essence of evil and just being a sinister character. Like, Broly has to be stopped, and the only person that could stop him is the entire Z fighter force together. Like, and the way that he just kind of smirks in this phase play is amazing. So like I said, this is my favorite one. I'm gonna show you a little bit more up close of what this one looks like. So he's just like super duper just laughing out loud, sinister. He actually put these accessories to the side. Okay, and now let's put him back up. Now let's show. So this is the blast effect that he comes with, that like I said, I put his peg on so you guys can see. There's these blast effect energy auras that kind of go on the blast effect itself. I don't always usually put these things on because number one, they're hard to get on, and number two, they kind of fall out easily. Sometimes, not all the time, but I really like this energy aura. I love the energy auras and the blast effects that Kong produces, because they just make them look transparent. It just really catches the blast effect in full range, and I love that. And let's go ahead and try to see. That's why I don't always like to put those things on, but we're just gonna leave it like that. We're gonna try to pop this in just to show you. Yeah, see, usually when I pose these figures, what I like to do is I kind of like to just take these little blast effect energy auras, and I kind of just take them off, and I just have the blast effect itself on his hand. So this is kind of what it looks like on his hand, and I really like how it goes with the aesthetic of his character a lot. Usually, if you know Broly has those real bright green energy effects. So it's pretty cool that they changed it up by giving Super Saiyan 4 Broly a red one. Now this is another blast effect that he comes with, that a lot of them come with when they just kind of screaming. And this one is really cool because it lights up. So I want to say that with the amount, so this is what it looks like while it's lit up. Right now I have kind of the flash on, so it doesn't capture the light very, very well. But if you're in more of a darker area, it looks really cool, man. I love the blast effect aura that this one comes with. And the last wave of Beast Deity / Kong figures with Broly, he didn't come with these. So the fact that this wave is the same price as the last Broly wave, and they're giving you more accessories, is just God sent. So the fact that they give you this as a free add-on, when the Broly originally he retails for I want to say anywhere from $90 to $100 depending on where you are, and that's the first original price. I don't know what he's gonna be on the aftermarket. For this specific Broly, I can anticipate that he's gonna go up in price a lot, just because he's sold out very, very quickly. So now with these energy effects and the fact that they basically gave you these for free, so more props to Kong for doing that for the community. This is really, really thought out. And then, like I said, their detail, their attention to detail is just ridiculous, man. They're so good at hitting the nail on details on everything, including the energy blast and the effects. Now, this is one of the last things that he comes with. So this is the head that he originally comes with before you put on his head, which it's like a wolf head. It looks really cool. I really like this for toy photographers. If you want to take pictures with this, like, I would really highly recommend taking pictures with this. I forgot to say that he comes with this like cape as well. I know a lot of toy photographers, they like to put on the hand painted nails with the wolf head and then the cape, just to show what he would look like if it just wasn't Broly, which in my opinion I feel like is really, really done well. So we're gonna get into like the articulation of him, and I honestly think that with the fact that they make these figures, they make them very, very well. And a lot of the times, because they're made so well, what would happen is that some of these figures come out a little stiff. So what I recommend is that you put it in some hot water, or you use some kind of shock oil, silicone shock oil. And there's a lot of different shock oils. Maybe I'll do another video on how to apply shock oil, because when it comes to a lot of these third-party figures, these third-party figures come out the box pretty stiff, and you don't want to break nothing. So he does a perfect T-pose. That's what he looks like when he's doing a T-pose. His arms go up just about like that. And then I haven't put any shock oil on mine specifically, so I'm not gonna be too aggressive. His arm rotates 360 very, very well. Let's try this arm. Both arms rotate 360 very well. Now he could look to the left that much. He could probably even go even more. His neck is pretty big, so he has these bang pieces, which if you usually know any kind of like Kong figures or any other companies, a lot of the times these bang pieces, they fall out a lot. I love the fact that when they made this Broly, they made it to where it's hard, like they don't fall out as easily. They made them pretty sturdy, and I love that about this. Now if you turn his head, he looks that way, that far. He doesn't look up very well, but it's because his looking up ability is hindered because his hair is so long. When we get into that Broly right there, the Super Saiyan 4 Broly, they made his hair a little bit shorter. So that'll be that. So he could look down that much. I feel like the range of motion on the neck is really done well, man. And yeah, he can't look up as much, but you know, that's because the hair. His ab crunch, let's see if we could get a good ab crunch right there. So his ab crunch isn't the absolute best. That's pretty much what you could get out of his ab crunch, other than if you because he has a swivel on his waist, like a good waist swivel, so you could get him down to look like that as much as possible. His bending upwards, that's about as much as you could kind of get out of him. Like I said, I don't want to be too aggressive with this figure because this is the only one I have. And like I said, he sold out quickly. So if anything was to happen to this, I'd have to pay aftermarket price to get a brand new one. And we do not want that. So he comes with this Dragon Ball on his chest, which is really, really done nice. It's transparent, and it's like kind of like molded onto his chest, and it just looks beautiful. Like the way that it's a 7-star Dragon Ball, and in the Dragon Ball Heroes, what they do is they put these Dragon Balls into the chest of some of these characters, and it creates these characters to kind of go psychotic and insane. And I feel like the fact that they did it on Broly, on one of the most psychotic Dragon Ball characters. It just made him go crazy, man. It made him super powerful. So something I wanted to talk about as well, as this is probably the best Broly in this entire line out of all four of them. I love this one the most. One of the reasons why is because this is the first time he comes with like a black skirt. And if you know Broly wears these like skirt pieces. His pants is like a dark navy blue. He has battle damage, and you could see in each battle damage cut, you could see his fur, and the detail that they put on this guy is ridiculous. You could kind of see some battle damage on the skirt itself. And this is his tail. So they have like an opening, and look, even the opening on the hole, you can see the rips where his tail kind of just sticks out of his skirt. The detail, man. The ridges at the end of the skirt have the battle damage ripped look. It's just great, man. So as far as his kick up ability, this is as far as he could kick up. I'm sure you could probably get a little bit more range out of that if you I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I don't want to damage my figure in any way, so I'm just gonna do the best I can as far as. So this is the next leg. He has the thigh swivel where he could turn his thigh all the way around, which I'm just gonna turn left and right like that. And then same thing with this leg. You could turn it as far as you want. And then he has these ankle joints where you could kind of swivel his ankle left and right, and he has these toe joints which are really, really cool. I like when figures come with this. You don't always see me catch me like doing poses where he's like bending his foot and stuff like that, but I feel like the fact that they give you the option for toy photographers, like they'll have a blast in the park trying to pose this figure. Like this figure has a whole bunch of range of motion. You can do a whole bunch of different poses. Here we go. Let's turn him around. He has that waist spin. So that way, look, that's what he looks like when you spin him all around. So as far as the articulation on this figure, I would give probably, I'd say a 7 out of 10. The reason why I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because the ab crunch going back and forth isn't the best. But even without that, I feel like this figure overall, in my opinion, I feel like the figure overall is a 10 out of 10. The aesthetics of the way he looks, the attention to detail that they put on this guy, the shading, the fur, the Dragon Ball, the battle damage, his fur coming out of the pants on the battle. It's just, overall, this figure is phenomenal. I give this figure a 10 out of 10. With the articulation, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. With the coloring and the way that they shaded it, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Like, look at the way that, if you look at his skirt, I don't know if the camera does any justice, but the skirt is like black. And then you got these like, at the edges of the skirt, is like these highlights of navy blue or something like that. Man, this skirt, this whole figure is just awesome. The crystals on his necklace, on his waist bead, and on his ankles, like it's just phenomenal. So let's show his fist can turn that much. What else am I missing? His tail has articulation, so it's not a bendy wire tail. It's pretty hard plastic, but you could get like a whole 360 out of it, which usually the tails don't always come with like a bendable wire kind of tail, but I'm okay with that just because you don't really need that. I mean, if you want to pose the tail in a way, I guess the more points of articulation that the figure has, the more better it is. I mean, oh, see, that's what I didn't want. I didn't want him to drop, but he did anyways. But look at that. Even showing in the video, yeah, he dropped, but look at that. He's still in great condition. He dropped from a pretty far drop. But the figure is still in great condition. And obviously, don't try this at home and drop your figures. We don't want nobody to break anything. But at the end of the day, look, man, even look, like I said, the bangs itself, how they're so easily coming off other figures. This dropped from a high drop, and they weren't damaged at all. Nothing on this figure was damaged. And I just really love the way that they did this figure. He has double jointed elbows as well. That's something I probably forgot to mention. But with most of these figures being 3.0s, a lot of these figures are coming with like all sorts of points of articulation. So they always come in with double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. And I'm not going to say that that's going to happen at like in the future. You know, who knows? They could probably change that. But as far as the figure itself, like I said, it's a 10 out of 10. If you're not a fan of Dragon Ball Heroes, I still think you should have this Broly in your collection. Whether you like Super Saiyan 4 Broly or not, I think this Broly should be in your collection 100%. This Broly is one of the best figures that Kong Studios, Beast Deities, or any of these companies made overall. This is the best figure that they made. This is my own opinion. You guys can have a different opinion. But out of all the waves of Vegetos that they made, the Gokus that they made, every Super Saiyan 4 Vegetos, all the figures that they made, man, the Brolys, this figure is the best figure that Beast Deities / Anime Mythos or Mythos Anime / Kong has made. Kong has did such a great job on this figure, and it makes sense because Broly is the best character in Dragon Ball Z, in my opinion. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys think I have some things to improve on, if you guys have any questions about where I might have gotten the figure or where you could purchase your own, if you have any questions at all, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate the love. I appreciate if you don't love and you just came by just to watch the video, whether you leave a like or not. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, taking the time out of your day to watch this. This is Brooklyn's finest figures. How you doing? And I'm out of here, y'all.